When we speak about perception, we can talk about the senses, how we interpret a thing through the touching, tasting, smelling. But really, understanding perceptions has to do with the mind, the meanings that we give. That is a perception. So, why is it so important or beneficial to understand perceptions? The answer is because the meaning you give something is what you will feel about it. And how we feel about something will be our experience of it. Our perceptions are fluid, they're not stuck. So when you change a perception, you change the way you feel about it. Nothing out there has a built-in meaning. They're all neutral props. So when you change the way you look at something, it appears as if the thing you look at changed. This is really good news because we don't ever have to wait for someone else to change in order for us to feel good. That's why the words should and shouldn't are so baffling, because we hold in mind that things shouldn't be that way, or you should have said that, or you should have done that. When we haven't even changed our perception, we're just wishing that it was different, but we haven't actually changed it yet. Let's say you go to a wedding and you chose to wear black, and while you're at the wedding, someone comes up to you and says, "You can't wear black, it's a wedding." Chances are you're going to feel some kind of emotional sting. Somebody jumps out of reality and told you about their perception of what people can and can't wear at weddings, and you showed up in black. So if you feel bad, it's because you bought into their perception. Now, if I hold the perception that they shouldn't have said that, then I also go against reality because they did say that. The reason we don't want to go against reality before we change our perception is because something already happened. So holding a hypothetical in mind, like you shouldn't have said that, is absurd because it was already said. What I usually do in situations like that, since my processor's kind of fast, is I deal with my perception first before I deal with what the other person said. And so it would go something like this. I enjoy wearing black. I love wearing black and blue and purple. There are so many different colors that I love to wear that I feel comfortable in my own skin, regardless of someone else's perception. We don't always have time to change our perception before we react or respond to another. But in this particular case, because my processing is so fast, I changed my perception. And how do I know? Well, because I felt good. And then I can turn and respond to the other person. One of the biggest mistakes that we make as humans is we actually try to change someone else's perception, which is impossible. Yes, we can influence other people and be inspirational, but trying to change their perception is only going to create an argument, possibly. And I don't want to do that. I want to have fun at a wedding and wear black and be okay with myself. So my first order of business would be to thank them for caring so much about what they think that other people or other perceptions would think of me. So I thank them. And then most likely I will look at what they're wearing and compliment them on their choices. It is really a waste of time to spend trying to change everyone else's perceptions. And even if you were able to do that, it's not going to change your feelings. It's only going to be when you change your own perception that your feelings. Based on our past memories, experiences, coupled with the environment and our reactions to other people, we don't necessarily believe that we have perceptions. We speak as if what we're holding in mind is true. However, so many times when we suffer, we actually believe that somebody else hurt us. And when you practice a few times of changing your perception, you'll discover that other people and their perceptions can't hurt you. It's only your own perceptions, and it's the meaning that you have given something. So if you want to feel good, and everybody does, then you will at least try it out a couple times to see if it makes you feel better. Many perceptions turn into attitudes, and attitudes turn into behaviors, and behaviors turn into character traits. Reading or hearing about something is great, but you won't have the experience unless you find out for yourself. A Course in Miracles says, what does the Course in Miracles say? I know, hold on a sec. That a miracle is a shift in perception. And every shift in perception is a miracle. And the miracle, the real miracle, is that you get to feel good when before you were feeling like, crap. Understanding perceptions is really a strength because we can now do something about it. We have this in common. This is what we share. This is it's part of our intimacy, even our rotten perceptions. And we can also have beautiful, wonderful perceptions that make us feel really good. But we do share this together as a species. And when we can laugh at our own stuff and our own perceptions and, hold the peace for others as they move through theirs, it's really, it's a connection that you don't want to miss. It's one that you don't feel alone and isolated, like you're dealing with your own perceptions in your own mind, and everybody else has all of their perceptions together. Anyway, this has really been fun doing this video. Peace to you. Out.